Yeah, trying to use a new software instead of pausing it. I think I end up stopping the recording, so I have to. This is the second part of it, and now what I've got on is a pound dollar. So this is the weekly chart in front of me. It looks very dirty, but this is what interests me. This is something that I shared in months back, probably about 7 8 months back. That basically, if you look from the black trend lines to black trend line, that's a channel that was interesting me. And the reason earlier mentioning that 36 and a change would come down, hitting down as a resistance, and again the same thing, dropping in, basing out, and then hitting back, and again it's just coming down on the same zone, so holding a resistance pattern out here. And I was kind of hoping, again, been busy traveling, so yeah. So this is pretty much what I was looking for the price to hit back. Pretty much almost did it. So again, pretty much on the same tune with the euro. Good retrace back would be 36.50 or something like that. Yeah, 36.40, 36.50. So yeah, there's a hint out there that the majors are, or the dollar is, trying to push back in. We will cover dollar also, but as of right now, yeah, the daily is prompting that we might be around a temporary top. Weekly is more profound, and this is a no, let's take this out. Let's take this out. Don't bother about this. Don't bother about that. But yeah, this is the tight band that we are, where the price is traveling right now, and pretty much it's been a break area, getting retested, faltering almost on the week, but daily we tested on almost on the weekly, came down testing it. And what was interesting about here is that, and for traders who are more seasonal, they probably would have benefited right and left the curving bottoms of the base. So yeah, that break on the higher side could do a lot of damage, so that would be an easy target somewhere around 142.50, 142 zone. That would be an easy target going, but then likely to extend, and 150 would be stone throw away the way it is looking. But as of right now, that again is a sketch that comes in handy when and if we have attained the break, and price feel comfortable staying on the higher side. Is easier said than done, and it looks easier, but people with more patience, people with really looking into a long-term trade, and they treat them as a long-term trade. Because one of the things that I've noticed again and again, emotions of traders, basically, how you control your emotion sets you apart as a type of trader that you are. And I'm sorry to say that over the course of my training sessions, and people I've trained, and people I've come in contact with, most of the time, most of the traders think that they are good at this thing, they are good at that thing, they are long-term traders, they are intraday or swing, but their trading style does not matches what they think they are. So I personally feel most of the traders, and I'm talking about not just newbies or new one coming into the limelight. I'm talking about more in terms of seasoned traders who've been around for 5 years, probably 8 years, or even probably longer. Of course, I'm talking about the people on the retail side. They to a higher extent do not know what type of traders they are, and one of the things that does not allow them to get to know who they really are is the emotions. They cannot control it. unless and until the moves are coming in fast and furiously, and it's a strong trending market, then of course it makes it much more easier the way it has been lately on FX pairs against the dollar, or more in terms of bullions, or more in terms of indices for the last 2 3 years. And every time I've gone and made a sketch over the indices, is the same thing. These are the points probably which is good for to attain equilibrium for a drop down, only for it to get bought up for new highs. And it's been, not till that thing changes. I'm not gonna go with any other view than stay with what the market is doing, whether it's rational or irrational. It really doesn't matter. Sometimes the more you try to make a sense out of something, the more you get carried away, and that these are the things that needs to come into play into your mind. You must have seen it before happening, and then what you need to do is that you learn from it. So when things are not making sense, then don't try to make sense out of things. Just go with the flow, because the flow is the price action. The price action is never wrong. So yeah, price action tilting the way you want it to get played out, it's an awesome feeling. It's tremendous relief. It's like, it's pride. I can relate to it. I can understand that. But when it does not, and the price action tells you this is what the intentions are, then do not try to dissect, or do not try to make sense out of it, and just go with the flow. So again, it looks awesome. I mean, here I can just for me, this view on the pound is mouth watering. But I can understand dollar needs to really get you know people need to lay their hands off the dollars for this view to come into play. And even if you get a break, it will be a moment of time where the price will probably just sway back, and will show right and go left, will show left and go right. It looks easier, but it's probably not going to be straightforward. But in any case, if there is a clean break and we get a good retest, and the strong bounces are followed up, then I think this is the flow. Otherwise, we still in for some deflection. And yeah, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy play here, the way it looks. But hopefully the price action can dictate, and we can see some heavy flows. One of the things that probably is missing lately is the heavy flows. Is that the volume is thin. We get some good breakouts, but I mean, last couple of months there's been some very decent volume, and there's been some very high, I mean, I would say extremely decent play. I have to say it because that's the way it is. But if let's if we can assume the dry spell that we're having last couple of years, if that is over, then yeah, I mean, these are some huge potential moves that I actually see. Even on the euro, probably above 125. No saying where the euro might land up. Probably about 138, 142. But I haven't gone too far on that. And at the same time, I do not want to go and take too much time on each and every pair, because I've got intentions of doing more. So yeah, this is the pound, pretty much on the resistance. I'm just gonna quickly go and check how it looks on other time frame. Yeah, 4 hours reversal candle pattern is almost there. So yeah, again, for savvy traders, probably look for some decent bounce back for 38, 38, 15, 20 starts holding, attempt for a shot. And I think pretty much the same thing will go on 30 minutes time frame. Yeah. Yeah, somewhere back around 138 zone starts showing me holding. I don't mind going short, and my short-term target would have been, yeah, somewhere around 3710, probably stretching between 3700 and 3710. That would be my moderate target. See if we can sketch something in terms of slightly decent target. Yeah, well, this is, I actually would like to Yeah. See, these are old charts, and just been busy traveling, not enough time to go and look over it. But let me see, if I can. What I want to show is, trend line is one thing that I do, and then people who know me more better, they understand that I've shifted out from plain simple trend lines and I look into patterns and all that. This was something that was interesting me earlier. Let's see. So there was a pattern, test and then retest, double bottoms, spikes, perfect angles. So all you require was another formation, so a pennant and a break, and then came down here forming bull flag. I think I this was mentioned again, the break again and the follow up. So this was my follow up target. That's pretty much coming up into play. It's just that I didn't have the time to go and look into it. So yeah, I mean, a good retrace probably back would be my yeah, a good retrace would be again it's about 3700, 3690, 3700. That would be a good retrace, and see if the price comes down hitting those zones, start bouncing back, going with the flow. I'll just go with the buy. But here's another interesting thing on this pair. See, this was another bull flag, and then this is another bull flag. So these are some strong indication. If you look at from make the this base, then this was another bull flag. So uh, that would be my zone. If this thing starts dropping on 3650, that's where it really gets interesting. The retraces can hit back all the way down here. So anyways, prices are. It's not about the majors, it's not about euro, it's not about pound. I think it's more about the dollar. If the dead cat can bounce. And I actually did a small layout on the dollar yesterday. That to me, it's at a point where it can bounce back. But how soon it can go and recover, that's another question. So yeah, from my point of view, around 3800 zone, probably shorting opportunities. Initial target probably about 100 pips. Uh, mm, yeah. So I think if we break under 3690, 3680, or maybe under this low, then this thing can then probably can there's a better chance of it falling out, because as of right now, uh, it shows that it has gone through the bull flag again here, but again the same thing like here on this has been a bull flag break again, did not sustain it. So this, I'm gonna be cautious about here, but if I'm sensing it correctly, then this probably is a reversal pattern kicking in here. So I'm just gonna go and look at the dollar now, straight up, because it was hitting where I think is a potential base that can be formed. Yeah, this is a weekly on the US dollar index, and this has been the break, and this is a holding pattern zone. Basically, how I see fit is as these notches, these nodes are here. I was hoping that here I was active and I was hoping we come and hit here, but now we've already hit. So here we had here we made a high and then made a series of lower than this. Then next flow was higher than this. Then again the next would have been lower than this. But here's the thing, it came back, did not, would have been a different story had we gone through it. Then there was a king dollar again, but here it is again retesting. So either it breaks here and next break above here, that would be it. That would be a good indication from the dollar that it's here to stay. It's here to stay. And even the formation here is probably like, you can, as of right now, layman's term, we might have a head left in this, become very shallow, but let's say these could be points are here. So yeah, dollar really has to get cracking and going, otherwise it's not looking too good. Actually, it actually is not looking too good, apart from might have a one-off retrace that, now that I'm looking at it, can go all the way down 97, 98 zone, somewhere around here. So yeah, probably have to go and redo a sketch, but as of right now, that's a potential bring of head and shoulder. So yeah, long run on the dollar needs to really flex something. It needs to pull out something extraordinary, otherwise this is not looking good as of right now. So let's see. So pound we already done. Canadian, yeah, I was looking at Canadian, and one of the things that was interesting me, and I was just, as I told you, it's been a long time since I've updated the charts and been traveling extensively. So this is easier if again do like this. Basically started off at with a view that is more wedge in nature, right? And then this was a breakout point, and I just basically relayed the same line, which is this, on a base zone. And I've got, if you look at from this angle right here, can I highlight it? I probably, I don't know. Anyways, this zone out here is the diamond formation, which is basically a reversal pattern. So sticking with the patterns out here, then probably about 22.75 above, and we hit here. And then if this indeed becomes a diamond formation, then I think Canadian is most likely showing him probably a move on the higher side. So yeah, 24.75 today is something that I can go and watch around for. Maybe 24.65, 70, 75. These are the area. If it starts holding, then for a short term, we'll look to go short on the pair. But we'll keep a keen eye, because I think there's a decent looking diamond formation right here, and going with the pattern, this move can unfold. So initially, basically about 25.20 would be a target. Playing above this break, that would become something in this fashion, which is like this is what I'm hinting at. Short-term move, probably look for here. If it starts holding, then I think we can break on the higher side. Then again, look for buys. Hit down here. This Canadian is one pair that can go on consolidating forever, and when it news comes out, it can just do something extraordinary. So maybe it consolidates around here, and probably when there's some, still have to check on the news. Uh, it can most likely do this and do initial run. Um, just been tentative, probably about 26.25, 26.30 zone. So that could be initial rundown target, and then we'll basically wait and see how it does. So pattern wise does indicate short-term sell, that is if it starts holding around this zone, and then most likely start looking for buys on the higher side with the 26.25, 26.30 on a target. Of course, need to attain a break and a close a higher 25, 25, 25, 30 zone. So yeah, there's some potential run that can come on this pair. Still have to see on the news impact. And I'm being very blunt out here. I haven't been able to look into a lot of things, so it's early in the morning out here, and I've been up early, so I thought I'll just go and do it out. So, and I'm hoping I'm not, I haven't stayed out yet. So that's the view, and that's been only a 2-hour chart. But yeah, this was interesting on a 4 hour, on the weekly. When I was on, basically there was a break here, second break here, and months back I pointed out that this is a region that interests me, and then so this is the break. So overall, dollar showing glimpse of pattern wide. It does look like it can bounce, but then longer run just looks a bit bleak right now. So for that matter, the bigger target on the lower side on the dollar Canadian is still stands around 2200. It's just a matter of time how the US dollar flows in, and what does the Canadian dollar does. But if I have to sketch a longer view, then this becomes my longer view here. That we have some break around here, so formation hit back somewhere around here, starts faltering, hit back here, come back up, and depending on if that's a head and shoulder on the dollar, then if this thing start happening, then we are in for some big runs. So this is what I think. And otherwise, of course, alternate view would be here and here, which has a right now. Anyways, more profound to go along with the price action, but yeah, but then yeah, there's some high potential run coming up on the dollar Canadian. So we'll see how it goes. But as of right now, I already mentioned on the short-term trade setup on what I look for. So that's how I'm going to stand on this pair. And of course, I still have to update. See if I've got an updated chart already. Probably about in 8 hours. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much the 24.75 zone again comes in to an extent. So I'll just go with that. I'll just go with I like the pattern, the way the pattern sketches on the 2 hours. So I'll just stick with that. I don't have to make things complicated. All right, dollar yen. I should have wrapped up everything by now, so I'm just gonna pick up some pace. That's been an old chart coming into play. Yeah, making the 110.30 zone. So we did have a spike today, and see, I haven't seen anything. So, anyways, yeah, these turnarounds are again suggesting that the thing that crosses my mind is that pound to an extent hitting down on a main resistance, euro already hitting on a temporary, what looks like a temporary top out there. Canadian showing even a pattern that it's a reversal. Even the pound and the euro, with bull flag breaks out on the higher side, but not being able to sustain. Uh, Throws in a glimpse of rejection. So, and a bigger, mightier move on the UJ again from point of from a point of impact, that failing to close under 110.30ish, yeah. So, and spiking and respecting the zone, spiking through but respecting the zone and getting it close. So it's probably ready for 112.10, 112.20, a retest back on those zones, but then eventually going higher. But I think the thing that really kicked in was the wedge view. I think I shared it earlier. But yeah, these are some patterns kicking in. So a good move here follow all the way should follow all the way, ideally till here, something which is pretty much about which is pretty much, I would assume, about 113.30, 113.40, somewhere around here. So yeah, I mean, these are signs of reversal out here, so can keep an eye on that. Short term holder chart. All right, short term maybe still needs to be. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So this could be a play out here. Short term, look for resistance around between 111, 10-ish. So that means hitting here retraces back probably about 110.60. So can use this zone as supportive in nature, and then if we start getting bounces back, then can keep an open eye that most likely we're going to break through. So that should go and hit the initial target. About, I would assume next target would be around somewhere around, yeah, actually it would be around here, about 110, 170, 180. So yeah, that's a potential short-term view that I can go in for, considering the basis that's been forming on the daily. Then we probably have a today that spike lower probably was just a last phasing out of a temporary lows out there and bounce. So 110.60 around this zone, look for buys and break on the higher side will just ease things up. So yeah, this is a lot of indication out here. The dollar probably, at least the dollar won't die just like that. It's probably in for a fight right now. So even a small win out here for the dollar means a little bit retraces out here. So yeah, back and forth moves. That's given because dollar hasn't gone in for strong bounces yet. So it's still flirting around with the base zone, trying to base in. So yeah, but as of right now, any indication on the dollar that it wants to go and pump back on the higher side. So I think dollar yen can play out pretty well. That's what I think. So let's see if we can, yeah, gold. Yeah, I was sketching gold earlier, and so far There's been one break after another break. I This was something that I shared in earlier back from here. We'll be dropping down here, and I was looking for retrace at least for till 1320, and this is gone beyond. Anyways, coming to the recent scenario, did some sketch on that, and not this one, but yeah, the weekly. The weekly is how do I put it? Yeah, some interesting zone is coming up out here. 1355, 1360, 65. Between 1355 and 1365 is some strong resistance zone. Uh, this has been my original chart on the weekly. Basically, baseline came close last time, faltering. So I'm going basically. This is what I'm going in with right now. My mindset. That is, this is my channel play, and this probably you can just consider down as a median zone, a splitter between price on the higher side or lower side. So yeah, last time we came close to it, and this time already can guess this move here. Actually, looking at the dollar, we might just go and get a slip here maybe, and then try to come back here, break, then we should go 15 and beyond. Otherwise, next move down here. So yeah, this is a longer sketch, and coming back to current mode. On the gold. This is where hitting back in again. So yeah, gold still to me it's more bullish than anything right now. It's just a matter of time of taking over 1357 high before we can, and then of course 1365 above, and then start closing above. That would put it into a new phase where it really wants to go and bull out. But as of right now, these are all there. As of right now, there is a retrace that's already on the way. So I'm assuming a good buy points on the a good buy point on the gold somewhere around back here 1310 1313 here, because this looks like a good break point, some retest. So though initial support 1331 32 is there, let's say 1330 is the initial support, but the way things are structured, the way dollar looks to be in a position right now, I think we can go and hit down 1315 15, start basing out, going for buys, and then we can look for 1355 1365 play, but not till we crosses over. Then it still is confined in a, well, it has been, if I can, since 2014, so the last three and a half 4 years, gold has been subdued under 1400 level. So the last time it traded above was probably about October, November. That also only spikes on the higher side. So yeah, that break can push the price 15 and slightly beyond. So yeah, as of right now, I think where it is right now, again, it comes down to the power where where it makes more sense for it to go and try out 1355 or 1360. And one reason being the curving bottom, this dodgy. So here, boom, or again, or then hit here. So that goes into a longer sketch view, but as of right now, I think 1310, 1315 ends up providing a decent buy point, which also makes it a decent, which also makes gold short-term bearish. 4 hours is looking pretty crystal clear. It's trying to base in out here, but then if it starts breaking under, the fallout should go and exceed 1315 below around here, and then if it starts basing out, that would be the cue to go in for a long. And something similar on the silver, again identical towards gold, holding out, break, re-break, and technically would have preferred for it to form the full channel and hit somewhere around $17.75, 17.75, 17, yeah, around that vicinity. But like the gold is trying to, it's trying to go and pushing for some retraces. So again, a good level on the silver would be around slightly above 1650. That is, if you can come all the way down there to go and try and for some buys. That's on the daily, and silver on the 8 hours was more perfect on it. Again, there was some room, so yeah, there was definitely some room out here. So see if 8 hours may have already bounced out, but again, going with the daily, there's a better buying points right above 1650. So, and 1760, 1770 still can go and get for a test. So it's similar view. This is not as longer view as the ghost shows in, and we'll just keep it to that right now, and might as well just go and look into the stocks, though they still would be keep on buying them, dips buying them. But yeah, I mean, this is what I look for. Make a small channel and see how it goes and plays out. Of course, being active, this was done a few days back, so yeah, but unfortunately could not play out. So yeah, extreme proximity, this was a good zone. So yeah, probably about 2760, because that's the last break, and then probably gonna go and hit till 2755, 60, and then start holding. With the way stocks have been going on, there is nothing rational about it. So just I'll go with an irrational mind, and any good retest points, I'll just look in for buys if I'm interested on the pair. So yeah, this is short in nature. Should do around 2755, 60. Shows holding pattern. Best thing about stocks right now is close your eyes and buys. So any meaningful dip, just close your eyes and buy into it. Did the DAX few days back, and this is what I was hinting. Anything close back towards, because here I've still got a DAX, ascending wedge that is pretty much beyond these point of impacts. And unlike the US stocks market, German has not been as vigorous as the US been. So still go with this steeper wedge view. And though it's been painful to go and hold on to a position, so not till you can close and close on the higher side, then new dimension. It looks like bullish and bullish and bullish and bullish if it breaks on the higher side. Otherwise, we should be doing this. And yeah, if I tell you where promptly, then I would like to see this, then this, and then all the way down there, and then maybe going for buys. But of course, if you're selling into indices, just be cautious. Just be cautious. Just be cautious, and just be cautious. I cannot say anything else because for me there is no rational about. There's no rational thing about indices. There's been weekly breakouts, daily breakouts. I don't want to go in details, but yeah, cheeky points, trying some retraces when you think that decent retrace has been acquired, then look just for points like this. If it starts bouncing in, then just go for a buy. Then no need to think too hard on this thing. Just go in for a buy. And see what we get on pound yen. It's not opening up. Yeah. Pound yen weekly. It's been a dreadful move. I've been hoping for a 155 and a small change. That's a point of impact that interests me to go short on that because that looks like a big breakout point. So yeah, I mean, back and forth move looks pretty dull on the. This is a weekly chart, and for a pair like pound yen, moving around in this fashion tells you there is a lack of direction or very thin flows. So that's pretty much because all the action has been on the dollar lately. But let's see. Yeah, this is again an older chart, so yeah, the thing 154 goes back into action. 154 goes back into action. So let's see if we can spot something. Yeah, even on a short term, I would have preferred a run down towards this trend line, which is the previous breakout. So looking for a retest probably, but move towards 155, 153, 60, 70, or whatever the number that comes into play when the price actually goes and hit it, and that should pretty much match up here. So yeah, maybe 153, 65, 70. I'm just presuming that's the level around here, which almost 153.80ish. So yeah, won't be a bad thing to go in, because I started looking into this fashion. Possible third top here. So missing is yeah, sorry, a run down here or run down here. So that pretty much brings it 153. Around 153 would be a potential resistance here on this pair, which should be yeah 152.96. Roughly about 153 is the resistance out here on the pair. So I think as of from here, price maybe around 152.45, 152.50, and then we go and hit about 40-45 pips on the higher side. So it's a series of lower lows are here. So I cannot ignore the fact that we can carry on the lower side. So yeah, 150 around 15300, 153 handle. There's potential shorts lurking out there in the dark and has a right now, but initially next couple of hours we should see some build up on the bull side to go and try that. So let's see how it goes on that. And yeah, about 152. So we got resistance somewhere around, yeah, here. So I'm assuming a potential move on the higher side, and then yeah, that was a phone call anyways. Yeah, I was looking close to 153 and a hole prompt me to go short for 152.20. That looks like a good target, with 152.40 probably soft target. And if it doesn't show me holding and there's potential on the break on the higher side, uh, then if you cannot buy, then try not to sell. Simple as that. 155 and a change looks very prominent on the resistance, and that would be interesting to see. If it comes down to it, how the market would react to it. Once again, this is the weekly, and even just to look at it, in case, because pound has got his own problem, whether they'll be increasing rates or not. This move more profound to how the MPC will do on the interest rate than anything. Otherwise, there's a huge band on the lower side also. This pair carries a lot of potential. So I'll leave this to it. Pound Aussie. Let's quickly look into it. Yeah, Pound Aussie on 8 hours. I I was looking for buys out here. I had some posts on that too, and then so as of right now, I'll just keep it very simple. It's playing back. Basically, this is what it's showing me. I was initially of the view that the price would consolidate a bit, which is basically it hits down here all the way, gives us buys, and then painful, probably slow drag all the way here, then deflect, come back here, and then go for a buy and probably a break on the higher side. But that was not the case to be, and it's already broken too. So I will use these points out here as a buying opportunity, and probably a temporary target somewhere around here. So that looks like a decent trade setup out here. That's to go and buy somewhere around of, let the price come and test. Let the price come and test around 72.50ish, and get a more of holding pattern than lurk into the buys. So yeah, that's something that I can look into it. I'm still not back on the trading side yet, but it's about time for me to go start updating charts and getting more lined up with the movements. Yeah, maybe all the way down to 72.40, which is the same vicinity basically for a pair that moves like pound Aussie. A twitch 15, 20, 25 pip movement beyond and off, it's not a big deal. So yeah, 72.40, 72.50, 50ish becomes a decent buy point on the pair. So I think yeah, I'm more profound on going long on the dips than or yeah, that sounds interesting. Aggressively, it can look for 73.40, 73.45 to set shots up for that move. But that would I would consider that as an aggressive move. But of course, the only aim here is to make money. It's not been about. Sometimes when you're extra cautionary, you move a lot of you miss a lot of move, which is fine. Actually, yeah, that would be a shorting zone right here. As of right now, this is a more of a yeah, this is a potential short out here. Playing it safe means if I go short, I have to keep my stop relatively tighter. But yeah, looks like a good angle out here for a short. And how about some Aussie? See, my intention was to uh, keep this to half an hour, but I think I've already exceeded beyond an hour, so I'll just yeah. Again, same thing with the other pairs. This was something that I was looking for between here and here as a zone that the price can shift back. So apparently there was a break on the higher side. There has to be some big news event because pretty much there are other pairs also they've shown the same kind of movement. Anyways, coming back, I think I'm just gonna keep it simple out here on the pound. Anything, any 4 hours or 2 hours close under 79.20, and then retest back to those levels and start holding. I have no problem going short for move down here, which is probably about 78, 55, 60, something like that. So it's about decent 60 points. Basically, this is what I'm trying to go into. Not to do anything of these levels, but if I see a shot here, I mean break under, then use this zone to hit back here, and I would assume a pattern structure, which is basically this price faking out here. That would indicate we need to fall a bit more further. So somewhere around. I'm just doing a rough sketch. Somewhere around here would be an ideal target. That would make it 77, 60, somewhere around there, around that vicinity. So yeah, this could be a slow mover, but when it gets in kicked in into pattern mode, it does what it shows. So yeah, this is again back on my horizon. It's on my radar. So aggressively, you can probably use 79, 75 these tops probably to set shots up against stop loss beyond that. That still would be an aggressive move, but of course if you can get it close under, you're sitting in a much more comfortable zone than a new shotter would be, because not knowing how the dollar will perform. But again, going back on the dollar, it's most likely to form some kind of support out here, and there are some indication this is an 8 hours, and this is the formation on the 8 hours candle on the Aussie. It's yeah, it's showing full potential of a short-term reversal. I'm just gonna go with short-term reversal because not till dollar actually does something extraordinary. This could just be falling back, retraces, and then only to get bought back again. So yeah, Yeah, these were the line of impact. So again, this probably would be again 79.20. So the zona here is quite huge, yeah, a potential. This looks like a reversal cat. It pretty much they all are identical. All the majors are showing an identical move. So a seasoned trader would understand that if they are trading one particular direction against one particular major, that would be major USD pairs. You cannot just go around picking each and every pair against the dollar on the same on the same directional flow. That's pretty much a suicide. Just in case if you're wrong, yeah, it can do a lot of damage. So yeah, but then people always have their own preference, which one to go and trade, which one they prefer. So yeah, I mean, do your due diligence and always do your due diligence. As I said earlier, I'm just sharing my views. I'm not suggesting any trade setups and all that. Just these are just purely 100% my view, and I'm gonna stop it to here. If I carry any further, there are a lot of more pairs to go around for, but then I don't want. I think we've done enough for the day. Maybe next time again I'll come over and I'll just breeze through the pairs so that way I can cover more in a shorter time. But yeah, some very interesting levels the pairs are. Gold definitely on my horizon. Dollar definitely to be watched out for, because a lot depends, especially for those who are into major USD pairs. Crosses again, that's pretty much I have to on my end I have to do a lot of updating my charts. One of my favorite pairs, pound NZD, pound Canadian, and I have no idea where they're trading right now. I was been going out with them, but see if I can have a quick look. Yeah, this was the last that I was looking into, go setting up more buy anything under 8600, but then of course I've been off market, falling 6 anyways. So yeah, this is more in line with the pound Aussie, because it shows distinctly that it wants to go and try it out 91.60, 91.70. So it's all a matter of those who have the buys in, probably they're feeling pretty good right now. Otherwise, look for some kind of meteor retrace to get in long, because this carries a potential for 91.50 plus. And yeah, this is a few pairs I did before. I can't remember which one. The same impact, if it breaks under one but holds under here and then closes back above another one, then that's a potential sign for reversal. And this is an ideal example on that. It fell under, hit back on the lower one, bounced back, and so yeah, we can go and look for 91.70 today. That's mean if I, not a good thing on my end to say, but I don't even know the news factor that's coming in today. But in case if I get any meaningful dip towards 89.50, 89.60, I'll even probably 89.70, I'll look for some buys. And yeah, 91.60, 91.70 would be initial good target on the run on the pound NZD. But I think that should conclude my session for the day. As I said, I'll have to update a lot more charts. This was supposed to be a half an hour session on my end, but it seems like as always, it's just that when you have to go around and explain a little bit here and there, it just ends up consuming a lot of time. But yeah, I'll probably gonna be back again, and hope everyone out there is doing well. As always, my only advice is that listen to everybody, listen to anyone you you want to, but always do your own due diligence, because what matters is not that somebody said something and you went on and you end up making money, or you do not end up making money. But what really matters is that if you want to stay here longer, years after years and years after years, then your own due diligence is what that's going to end up defining you. So have a very fruitful day, week, and a prosperous 2018. And with that, I'll close my session today. Thank you, everyone.